Hello guys, so let's start new prediction for next week. This is live, so if you want to hear this, put it in speed, double speed. Um, so let's start. Last prediction was correct. We saw the spike for the move to the upside and then the reversal. It was much clearer in the cues, which we'll see later. So let's start first with monthly. Let's see how SPY is going for the break. Usually after the break there is a reversal, which is good. We are still in an uptrend, which is nice. This is the divergence we saw for the move for the upside. So the SPY is trying to reach to the 465, first 460. If we go for the weekly, we see it get rejection from the Fibonacci level extension, the 452, 450. Volume is coming down, so buyers not that much interest, but there's no divergence or continuation of the buying power. This is the move for the upside. It's already break it. So usually after the break coming the reversal or the pullback. In the daily we can see this. This is you can see it. I don't know, lonely star, how you want to call it. And this is the reversal, probably gonna push for the 448.7. There is a lot of reversal in the lots of gaps in the daily. You can see gap here, lots of gap waiting behind gap here, gap here. So will it come and retest the 200 at the 420, 430? I don't know yet. So at the moment, if we check the daily, we can see here 93.31, and this is much higher. So no, this is a continuation pattern. So this is the 1, 2, 3 phase. Usually we coming the correction. I could see the potential of moving to downside to retest the 450 again and even the 447. So there is the potential to reach here the following week. There is a weakness in the market at the moment, so could be interesting. If we go for the 4-hour chart and see what's going there, this is the break usually coming for the 450, probably retest it here on the 450, probably bounce, and end zone is somewhere here at this trend, but could be interesting to see it reach to the 447. Do I see it yet? I don't see it yet, because you can see the divergence for the to the upside. Let me open the pen. Sorry guys, where it is. Alright. So let's make it much smaller. So now you can see it here. This is moving down. This is from here. This is moving up. So there is a continuation, but I want to see the break to the upside here, and then maybe retest the 50 and then coming up to the upside, and I don't see it yet. And it could mean that should be very careful, because if we see a red candle, even two candle breaking the 448 and close below, it will destroy the divergence, and then we come here for this divergence for the 436. Let me check it here. Let me go for the 1-hour chart. And where it is, this is here. So if we draw the Fibonacci extension, let's say from there, you can see it resting on the first Fibonacci level, and touched it and bounced and could break 447, 448 again, reaching to the 200 on the 1 hour chart, and could be interesting because there is here again small divergence. So we just need to break the 451 below, and then we can see the moving for the downside. And this could mean that it could break it, move to the downside, touch it here, rebuy, bounce probably, and then moving to the downside here. There is a potential when it bounce from the 450 to bounce for the 460. This is the end target. You even could see it here. So if we take it, let me check it. You know what? Let's do it right now together. Someplace here. You can see the 38.20 is the 448. The 50, 446, and this is the area I want to see the S&P bounce from. So at the moment, still moving to the upside, trying to break the 451 for bringing more buyers. Do I see any divergence? I don't see divergence yet. I could see weakness coming to the market. You can see it on the momentum. It makes a big push here, and now is weakening, trying to bring more buyers for taking some small profit in order to push to the 460. But now we are in a momentum of a down, and I want to see a move to the upside, and I think we're going to see it probably bounce from the 450, and if it break it, the 448, we could see it move again and bounce from the 446, which is a good area for buyers to re-enter and attacking the market again. At the moment, I'm biased to the upside after a small reversal. Let's move for the Qs. With the Qs, you can see much clearer the reversal, how it break it and coming back for the 374. This is a nice divergence, crossed a little bit, probably will try to bounce from the 374 and then bounce from the upside. There is a divergence there, so I could see it trying to move again, but the final push will be the last one, because this is the weakest push for the upside. Probably want to end at the 388, 390, and then we probably see a big reversal for the 200, retest it again, bringing more buyers to accompany it. If we look at it on the 1 hour chart, let me make it much clearer. You can see how it needed to test the 200 on the 1 hour chart, and now it's an oversold area. Need to make a pattern of a break, so something like this need to come. If we check it, let's check it, the Fibonacci here, and see it resting on the 50, which is good. Will it come to the 372, 3? I don't know yet. It could touch, yeah, it could, yes, there is a potential, big potential to test the 372 and bounce from there. The seller is in control at the moment, even could touch the 370, 369 here and then bounce, but this could mean a change in a trend, so be very careful. Usually where there is a nice uptrend and a break, could mean a retest and then going for the downside. If we look at it on the daily and see how it looks, let me clear it. You can see it already the push. The SPY didn't push clearly to the retest. There is a nice volume of pulling down. There is a divergence. So if we draw trend line, there, someplace here. It need to cross it, so it didn't cross, so you need another red candle, close below, closing gap, and then you could see the reversal coming to the 350 and even the 370, sorry, 369. Can it go much lower? I don't see it coming yet to the 350. There is a lot of buyer 360. This is a round number. It didn't finish the divergence, so I could see it. Let me check something. This is from here. I could see 372 bounce from there, which is the good area. This is the Qs. Let's go for Tesla. Tesla, big reversal, big gap, big news, already created divergence. It needs to break the 240 to break the divergence, and then it will, if it break it, taking the Fibonacci extension from there, it could reach to the 243 and 226. This is the area closing some gaps it need to close, which is good. This is a good area for buyers to reposition themselves coming back into the market. At the moment, probably gonna hit the 248, and from there later, after the 248, if it break it and break the 240, it could reach to the, I don't know, it's not that good, 190. Oh my god, if it break the 248 and 240, this place, it could reach to the 200, 190, but I don't believe so. There is a lot of support, but this is the potential for the long term. I don't like it, but this is for a much bigger time frame. At the moment, moving down, bounce from it, probably at the opening, touching the 260 and retest it. And after that, after the 260, try to reach to 263, even tested 266. I could see it moving I could see it moving down and break the 255. So let's take it here on the 4-hour chart. You can see 255 bounce from it, probably a good bounce area. It's changing direction. You can see it here changing direction. Didn't finish yet, didn't cross there, break the divergence. You see it not like with the Qs and the SPY, broke the divergence there. So this is the second one, and if it closed below the 255, it will just fall here for the blue one, and this is the reason why I think it will probably fall to the 190, 200. So it could be a change in trend. Usually don't take it immediately. See the sellers and see the buyers look for the fear, because it can bounce to retest again the 260 to 75 and then moving to the downside. Let's go for the 1-hour chart and see how it looks there. This is the big gap which need to be closed. There is no short continuation yet, so probably there is no gap. It closed the gap there, and there is a gap to 235. Could be try to close it, but at the moment it seems that it's giving signals for a change in direction. We had a move to the upside, and probably now this is the break of the move, the biggest move to the upside, probably retest and then coming back to the 224 again. Let's move to Apple. Oh, it's loading. Sorry guys, I will pause. So with Apple, this is a daily, and you can see how it extended, too much extended. But what is good is any move to the downside will bring the buyer. So you can take it from there. This is the extension. You can see the 180, the 170, the 160. Any move there will bring more buyers, and this is good one, but it could push the market to make a big pullback for 10%, even 15%, which could be interesting. If we look at it, you know what? This is the 4-hour chart. You can see it didn't break yet in the 4-hour chart. It's still positive. There is a divergence for the move for the upside. It didn't finish yet. It needs to make a green candle. So if it make a green candle, it could push the market. It could push the market to one more push, and this is good. It already bounced from the blue. The momentum is still positive. There is a sign of divergence, so I could see it trying to make another push to the upside. Will it catch? It didn't seems to catch short sellers off guard, so I don't know how the push to the upside will be. The momentum of the push to the upside. You could see it here. This is a nice bounce from the 200. This is a big volume at the end of the session. And if we look at it here, the trend is still to the upside. There is no break. And if we draw a trend line here, freestyle, you can see it wants to break to the upside and continue with the momentum. So there is sign for both ways. In the longer term, there is a need for big correction. In the short term, there is probably a final push with some stock. Tesla moving to the downside, Apple trying to make a push to the upside. Everybody taking their money and put it on Apple. And it could be very interesting for the Qs, Nasdaq, and also for the SPY. If we move to NVDA, I didn't cover it, I think 2 months, you can see the big volume, big volume coming for the upside. And this is very unique. You have to remember it is, again, you could see the potential of it for the break to the upside. You also can see it here with the Fibonacci extension there, how it's the 447. If it closes above, it could push to the upside. But I think this is the final push for the market. If we go to the daily, you would see why. You can see this is want to close the gap here, the 440. But what happened? It could just crash to. So this is a lot of stop losses, I think, that just hit. Let's check it on the 4. You can see it here. I probably touched it at the 440, 439, 60, and then bounced from it. There is again the divergence of continuation. It didn't finish. So if you want to break the divergence, it needs to break the 415. If it moved below the 415, it could break the divergence and probably try to reach to the 400. And below it, closing the gap, the 306. This is a big fault for the downside. So be very careful. Even though it's still positive, it's much weaker. There is no momentum, big momentum. So it needs to make a spike to the downside, to taking in all the short sellers and then move to the upside, taking out all the stop losses in order, some sort of short squeeze in order for continuation. At the moment, be very careful with it. Could see it as sort of a break, and what it is, I probably could see lots of sellers coming back to NVIDIA for their 424, 425 and started to short it. I don't like this big volume at the end of the session. Could mean be very careful. So I'm biased, I'm gonna look at it for the downside, but if it breaks the 50 of the stochastic, it's gonna make a nice push in the inside day to retest the 460, and even it closed the gap, so there is no gap here and there is no gap here, so no gaps from the upside. Consider it. MRNA. MRNA is still tricky moving. We see the move for the upside. We saw the you can see it here, the reversal, but this is a still sideways move. I didn't enter it. People waiting above the 128 and people waiting below the 120. This is a big, but you can see again big volume coming back in. This is probably because of all those many of option expiration and rebalancing. So take it in mind. If we look at it in the 4-hour chart and see how it looks, this is a sideways move, touching here, touching. It seems that it want to break. It seems that it wants to break, but I want to see confirmation closing below the 128. Closing above the 128. If it closed, it could be a good sign, because there is a lot of stop losses here and there, which could make the stock spike to the upside again, like in here. If we check it on the daily to see how it looks in the bigger time frame, you can see it's slowly grinding and trying to make a push, failed, but preserving the price at the 116, 115. So closing below the 120 is closing above the 126, so 128 is a good entry to try to make a push and break the 150 for the 185. BA. Alright, BA, you can see a big, this is daily big sideways move. Not many people chose to participate. You can see volume is going down. Could see some sorts, there is no full divergence, so let's check it on the there is no, sorry, let's look at it in the 1-hour chart. Sorry guys. Alright, at the 1-hour chart, BA seem negative, retest again. There is no gaps from above and lots of gaps below. There's no divergence, so sideways move, still waiting below the 208, above the 216. You could see it here, making some sort of reversal pattern. But I don't like it. I don't see it yet. Buyers came, which is interesting. And buyers came. You know what? Let's check something. Let's take the Fibonacci level here with this candle. This is the 50. So if it closed below the 211.60, you could see it moving to the downside. Could be very interesting. It crossed, I think it crossed, yeah, it's crossed the zero. Momentum is negative, so I want to see it break it close below, and then again, if it close below, it will reach to the 208 and probably try to move down back again. So see how it looks. Let's make it very small, see how it looks. It could try to retest the 200, even 202. And see how it goes. Sideways momentum, stochastic. I don't like it that much. Couldn't make a good decision there. What a good decision. This is a sideways move, so there is no trend. Maybe smaller time frame there is a trend, but at the moment I don't have any decision yet about it, so I don't like it. Let's move for the gold. Oh, sorry, I pause. So till it's upload, see something. Yeah, you know what? Let's check it. If we take the Fibonacci level from here and there, you can see it touched the 50. So now if it's breaking the trend, and let's assume it will break the 175 maybe, and we take the extension and see how it works. This is the extension. So the 100% is, let's make it 168, 170. You have the level of the moving for the downside. So if the gold is moving to the downside, it probably push the market to the upside with the divergence of long continuation we saw. There is a short continuation there. You can see it here. This is moving, making higher high. This is making a lower high. So this is a nice, unique. But it's still, the momentum is still positive. Let's hope yes, it's upload. Momentum and the trend is still positive. This is the first reversal. So if we take here the Fibonacci level, I will ignore it. You can see how it rests on the 6180, which is good. This is the spike, taking in all the short and then moving up. This is a long continuation. You can see it here. So probably if, let me clear it. So if we take it, the extension from there, this is the high, probably trying to touch the 180 and then moving to the upside to the 190 and take it again. Could be interesting. Momentum is positive, but very careful because it needs to reach and break above the 190. It doesn't have a long time, so it needs in 1 week to break the 190. We need to see a big push to the upside with the gold. If we don't see it and just see it moving a little bit to 185 and weakening again, and then it will fall. If we look at it on the 1 hour chart to see how it looks there, you can see it could rest on the 181. It didn't. The trend is positive. There is the divergence again. You can see it here. It needs to cross the 50, probably above the 182. If 182.50 closed above, and then moving to try to break the 184, 185, and moving to the upside. Let's go for the silver. Get it on the daily. Again, with the daily, the silver making the reversal. This is it broke it here, but there is some sort of short continuation. If we see it, something, it touched the 76, which is a sign for, even if it will make a retest at the 22.22, this is a sign for the buyers are in control and want to call all the partners to start to buy there again and moving to the upside. Could be interesting. I know there is a lot of gaps. Usually it will take some time to close it. It will close it, but it could take some time. You can see it here, it's positive. It's positive. There is a divergence. It needs to close it. It didn't finish yet, so probably just a green candle. It even can touch the 22 here. Could be very interesting. And then moving to the upside. If we go to Oxy, the oil, again, let me look at it on the daily. Again, it's like BA, but in the opposite way. Sideways move, didn't touch. I wanted to reach to the 54 area, touch it again, and then try to break to the 70. There is no divergence. It's broke it, so buyers make a lot of effort here in order to break the pattern. But it needs to bring the buyers, so probably another push to the downside. Let me, right, oh my god, yes. So it closed above the 60, so probably could make another push again for the 65. Momentum is positive, it broke the divergence. This is the long continuation we saw there, and if you manage to join here above it at the 59.60, you could probably take a few cents. So at the moment positive with the oil. So this is it. Let's go to IWM, the Russel, and see how it looks there. Alright, this is again the reversal pattern, which is good, it's okay. Let me check something. This is 94.48. This is 95. It's okay. So small reversal because it's weakening. This is a big sideways move. This is more company in the Russell. This is a 2000 stocks there with banks. A sideways move, doesn't know what to do. People waiting above the 200. Daily doesn't give us much a clue. Just you can see the volume is weakening. So this is a divergence. The price move up, but the bar is not showing the faces. So just enjoying the ride. The momentum is still positive in the 4-hour chart. There is a divergence creating. Didn't finish yet. So if we see the Russell breaking the 190 and close below, it will break the divergence and moving to the 185. So be very careful at the moment because we didn't see a finish in the formation of the stochastic. Yes, there is a short a reversal pattern with the momentum. So get ready for it. And if you look at it on the 1-hour chart to see how it looks there, you can see it wants to reach to the 192, and this is a good area to reach. Even though if it reached there, it could break the divergence there. This is a nice divergence in the 1-hour chart, which didn't finish yet, but just green candle. Even in the pre-market, you can see how it's resting on the 50. So it's all aligned. And you know what? Let's take it from there and see how it looks. So it could reach to the 193 to 192 area. 191 is also a good one. But probably many people will see this is a shoulder head if it reached there and making another shoulder for a pattern for the move to the downside. So probably the buyers won't give it any chance yet. I'm biased to the downside in the short term, in the 1 hour, because you can see it wants to reverse and reach to the 200 area and bound and retest it, which is a good one to retest. In the longer term, it's still positive, it's still strong. It probably wants to bounce from the 192 again. We can see it here and retest it again, which is good. So this is it, guys. So let's finish and sum it up. SPY. You can see it, most stock all trying and start to create a divergence. It didn't finish yet, so don't just take long. You have to wait for confirmation. So at the moment we are on the pullback, and many people wait for the pullback. It could reach a couple of cents for the 450 in the SPY, even some for the Qs. The Qs a little bit finish its reversal, the pullback, and probably start to consider looking at it for the long side. So be very careful. The correction is much needed in the market. Taking some breath, make it easy. See how the Fed's going to react with the interest rate hike. So even if it goes higher in 25 points, still the market can create, I don't know, act with more for the downside, but eventually the market is strong. Market is strong and it will continue to the upside at the moment. For the week even too. So this is it, guys. Hope you like it. You have some notes to take. Hope it helps. And this is, thank you guys. Read the disclaimer and good luck. Bye bye.